Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions, UGR TV. This is your host, Brother Rich. And as you can see, I'm with the Black Dot. This brother been going in on hip-hop way before YouTube, social media, Facebook and all that. The brother was dropping the science on hip-hop, decoding it metaphysically, all types of ways. So I welcome the brother to the platform. The brother influenced me to do what I do today when I was 20 years old. So I appreciate Black Dot for being on the program. Yes. Dot, I know you're about to do a lecture, and so I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, Dot. We at Nicholas Brooklyn bookstore. Shout out to Nicholas Brooklyn, by the way. You deal with hip-hop.
Yes.
You deal with street culture.
Yes.
You know what goes down in the streets.
Yes.
Brother, Bobby Shmurda. You heard of the brother, right?
Yes, yes.
Young brother. Brother had the hottest record in the country about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
About a week ago.
Slamming.
Yeah, man. I mean, he had
it just rocked the club.
Yeah, he had black people, white people, Indian people, Asian people. Everybody put up a video doing the brother's dance. Yes. And the brother was from New York. Mm-hmm. A time when New York didn't really have records on the radio at that time.
Right. So he was gonna represent like a comeback of young MCs, getting supported out of New York City.
Exactly. And he did it without media at first, without the radio. He did it from YouTube, and he blew up, and then it transferred to the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. Man, the brother got caught up big time.
Yeah.
And about a week ago, no pun intended, his associate, his GS9 associate, got sentenced to 98 years in prison.
Ouch.
Right after that, another one of his associates got sentenced to, I believe, 53 years in prison.
Yeah. See, what's going on with this is, first of all, what the hell you do to get sentenced to 98 years is beyond my wildest dreams. But I do remember recalling one incident in particular where they was rocking at the Barclays. His man was out in front shooting up Brooklyn and went on stage with the same clothes on. Next thing you know, he on stage with the same clothes on, rocking. See, the thing with this generation, they are actually living out their words. So a lot of times back in the days when brothers was fronting like they was moving weight and catching bodies to sell records, this is done in reverse now. These dudes is catching bodies, moving weight, and decide to translate that over into hip hop, but your past follows you. You know what I'm saying? With the hip-hop police and all that's going on with the surveillance, most of the guys are telling on themselves. You know what I'm saying? With social media. Yeah. And, I tell people all the time that FBI agents are not in the streets no more the way they used to. They get a cup of coffee.
Sit down.
They sit down and log on. And all the keywords, because we have a tendency to try to code things in specific languages. I'm going to speak about that in great detail today. It's what separates us from most. But because we're snitching on each other so much that the language begins to reveal itself, and these guys are now facing real time. And it's unfortunate to get 98 years. That means it's a wrap. It's done for you. And they ain't even bring out his sentence yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he's snitching because I don't even want to imply that. But people around him are getting 98 and 58. I'm curious to see what he get. If he walk on something low, we have to then question, his integrity in terms of his street cred and,
As an OG in this game, Black Dot, we get upset about the inauthenticities. So with Bobby, quote unquote, keeping it real and living out his lyrics, and his associates living out their lyrics, where's the line between keeping it real and being stupid, Black Dot?
Yeah, well, he's crossed it. Him and his whole team have simply, but you got to remember, there was a time when there was no social media.
Okay.
So brothers was moving weight on the corner and able to keep 2 steps ahead of the feds and washing their money. You know what I'm saying? Laundering their money and other things that they were doing. But everything is in real time now because of social media. Everything is in real time. So what you're seeing is the instantaneous results of your lyrics. I also make mention that Rick Ross, the first 3 videos, he owned nothing in those videos. By the fourth video, he owned it all because our participation in it accelerate the process because we become a part of his matrix. So 10 million hits, 15 million hits, that accelerates the process. And now he's syncing up his dreams with reality all in one time. So now this is real. So fake it till you make it used to be a term that we used in hip hop, which it might require months before you actually get it. But with the advent of the internet and 10 million views, remember, Chuck D said, attention is the new form of currency. So people's attention are accelerating this process. So now you can pop them guns and talk that smack, and the feds be at your door in a week. You see what I'm saying? Whereas before, they really couldn't catch up to what it is that we were doing. So there is a thin line between what is perceived as reality and what's perceived as just dumb.
I mean, how can something like that happen, though? Do you think there should be more of a public outcry at a young dude getting 98 years, or do you think we're looking at it like that's just how the game go? That's just the way the system is set up?
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't know what he did to get 98. I could shoot up the mall right now and probably get 15 years.
15, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he got 98 years. I don't know if this is some RICO drug cases in which they have him so embedded on so many charges but 98 years is a long time, my dude. They didn't give Nicky Barnes 98 years. They didn't give Alpo. None of them niggas got 98 years. I don't even think what's these dudes out of Detroit who was getting all that money, you know.
Yeah, I know I forgot the names, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't even think they got 98 years. So to get 98 years, I have to look a little bit more into the details of the case to find out what that was. But that wasn't no normal case. They must have been building this case for a while and it's rock solid. And maybe the 98 is, I'm not snitching. You know what I'm saying? You know how they come, you looking at 98? But if you give up the rest of the crew in the organization, we bump that down to 30. Maybe his is like, I'm taking the 98. So that's a part of the street code too. Not too many people live by it, but the ones who do, they walk that walk and talk that talk. So this may be one of those situations that we're looking at, because that's a lot of time.
What advice would you have for the young brothers and sisters that's watching this that may be trapping, that don't want to work a 9 to 5, that maybe sell a little weed or, do whatever? What advice would you give them in 2016 about living that street life?
Well, understand we all in the movie now. So with the type of surveillance that is available and access, the feds have access to, we're all in the movie. So be careful on how you operate. And Jay-Z laid out the blueprint for you. That's what the whole the Blueprint series was about, was showing you guys how to transition from the street corner, take your talents, and become a corporate hustler. And Jay-Z even said the corporate hustle sometimes is even more sinister than the street hustle. You know what I'm saying? How artists are cutting each other's throats, executives. But I would say, listen to the blueprint. I can't believe I'm saying this as much as I get on Jay-Z's case. But for the hustlers, because he wrote that for hustlers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The blueprint is for you guys to transition yourself from street corner hustling, because that era is really gone. You know what I'm saying? With like I said, with the level of technology they use,
cameras everywhere.
Like I said, you in a movie. Every time you walk down the street, you in a goddamn movie.
Some Truman Show.
You on some Truman Show shit. You know what I mean? So if you hustling, don't think they don't see you. You know what I'm saying? So understand the way you hustle has to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? There's corporate hustles now that'll eat the street hustle alive, and you don't even have to have a corporate etiquette as much as you think you do, because your intellectual property is what they're after anyway. So if you can rap, leave all that hustling stuff alone. Put some money away and wash that, and then move on and learn the corporate hustle and put your team on in the same manner. And you may have to cut your team. See, people got on Jay-Z's case. I did too. He felt he had to cut the fat because everybody in his team wasn't corporate ready to go to war on that level and move in a room full of vultures. You know what I'm saying? The way he did. Dame was extreme with it. I love Dame to death, but Dame was like, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them. Once we set up distribution, ball game over. So his approach was a little bit more direct. Jay-Z's approach was a little bit more subtle and finagling how to move with these devils and, you know, smile in their face and get checks cut. And now he owns Tidal. So, you know, his game, he had the long game. I thought Dame kind of represented the short game, but Dame was powerful in his own right in what he was trying to get done.
You know, you're right about how the corporate game is just as grimy as the streets, because when Jay-Z came out with Tidal, they had the crazy smear campaign.
Yes.
Crazy.
Because now the slaves are trying to be masters now.
Yeah.
He's peep game and understand ownership. You know what I'm saying? And he got Prince was behind him, and a couple of major people was behind him to say, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So we can own all aspects, because how long are we going to continue to get raped?
Right.
In terms of, you know, your mastering, your publishing, these 360 deals, which is bananas. So, you know, there's still those out there getting raped, but he is ahead of the curve in terms of him figuring out some things that could benefit us in the long run. See, remember, business is about long run. So his Tidal shit was fluctuating for a minute and this and that. And he telling everybody, calm down, because I'm trying to put something in place that we can all take advantage of later on. Shit, I might put my music on Tidal in a minute. Shit, they paying right.
Now, I'm glad I got you in here today, Doc.
Yes.
A lot of people are shocked at the silence by the OGs in hip-hop when it comes to this Bambaataa situation. Now, I don't know if the OGs is looking at it like it's just some gossip shit and they ain't trying to get involved in it, not taking it serious because of that. But the story, I don't know if they're looking at it like a shock jock like Stars releasing these stories, so they're like, Stars always been a hater, so we're not going to get involved with Stars or support anything Stars says. But the allegations are serious, man. Indeed. Serious, man. A lot of people weren't happy with Bambaataa's response going on Fox News.
Indeed.
What's your take, man?
Well, these are some of the questions I'm posing in today's lecture, which is called The State of Hip Hop. And I'm gonna go in detail on the state that we're in today as a collective, but the elders are worrying me. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously they all connected to each other. For them to collectively not make a statement, which means that they are in cahoots with whatever it is that they're doing. And this is why the youth have a tendency not to respect us. The elders want this type of respect. They sit in the eldership position. Well, eldership is about counsel. You know what I mean? And eldership is about accountability. You know what I mean? So we have to, put it on the elders, and I'm going to put an open call out today so we can kind of get what's the disposition, what's the silence, or is the level of complicity, or how many people are involved with what we're seeing, does it run really deep? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's trying to protect themselves in reference to when that book come out, who's in the ledger. And, how many people were involved, how many people knew, how many people saw this, how many people getting down that we don't want to talk about. I you know what I'm saying? I can go deep, but that's not my position to do that. But it's probably multi-layered, and the other shoe ain't drop on all this stuff as far as I'm concerned. Get prepared, because Star situation is the tip of the iceberg. When this other shoe drop in reference to how many people are involved, who's gonna now come forward that is currently being the international. We got the international connection going on.
Over Brazil, you mean?
Over Brazil and the UK with the young beatbox boy who they say committed suicide based on the same situation. And I don't know if he left any writings or this and that. So we have a situation on our hand that's not going anywhere. And the longer the silence, silence is not always golden. Sometimes your silence is implicating other things, and I don't want to speculate. See, what I do well. I take complex things and I make them very simple. So today is going to be my first attempt to put it all in the gumbo, the KRS situation, the BAM situation, and make it simple so we don't look at it one-dimensional. We kind of get a better understanding of what we're dealing with, Yeah,
because a lot of our people get upset when white people are silent about racism or white supremacy. And they say silence is complicity with it. Is that the?
Complicity.
You're like, you kind of, you're kind of agreeing with it.
But how much of things are we silent about on ourselves in our own neighborhood?
If people know this is going on, we're doing the same thing that we're accusing them of doing, in a sense.
Right.
So I'm just trying to,
because the BAM situation is the worst kept secret in the Bronx.
Wow.
Okay, the worst kept secret in the Bronx.
Worst, huh?
If you from the Bronx, you've heard the rumblings, you've heard the rumors in such a capacity that it was just something we just sort of kind of accepted. I don't think people knew to what extreme in terms of little boys, but we knew his preference, or what appeared to be his preference, was males.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something we just sort of, thought everybody knew. So this whole situation with Star coming out and people acting really shocked, I wasn't shocked at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, well, we heard that in the 80s. And, where there's smoke, there's usually some form of fire, unless it's just a smear campaign. And it's too many layers for this to be a smear campaign. Too many names coming out, too many moving parts, confirming other people's moving parts and connecting to other parts. So we know that there's some truth or relevance to what's being said and what's going on. And, the elders haven't spoken. And, the new generation don't give a shit about the Zulu Nation or none of that shit. I don't know. No young people are coming up to me saying, yo, Dot, I want to get in the Zulu Nation. So, I mean, it's just an old school thing. Is this the only shit keeping them relevant? I'm going to ask all those kind of questions today. You know what I mean?
As someone who spent, it's 2016. You've been in the Lexus circuit. 2001, 2000?
95. In terms of hosting lectures.
Hosting.
Yeah, okay. Hosting lectures, so, 95, 96.
You've been doing this since 95, 96. You have been, like I said, way before it was cool, when the only way you could get this info was on VHS tapes, cassette tapes, and cassette tapes.
Yes.
To spend so much time doing research, whether it's white supremacy, whether it's conspiracies, whether it's the cult, whether it's whatever it may, the Illuminati, whatever it may be, and to see brothers like Bambaataa, when he get caught up in something, say it's a conspiracy to take me down, use that as some game, like for people out there that are sensitive to that, to kind of, they have some sympathy for him.
That was the whole point of that. He was trying to garner sympathy, use the same things that we've talked about, code words and conspiracy, COINTELPRO,
right.
Dude. But see, this is part of the reason why he hasn't come to talk directly to us, is because we ask real questions. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna volleyball no question over to you like Ed Lover and Moni Love, and give you a platform where you could say the generic answers that you've given. And my whole thing too is, dude, if you're not being brought up on no charges, what's the lawyer for? So, you know what I'm saying? You're almost implicating yourself in the situation. You've trained us yourself. Don't go to Fox. Don't go to these devils. You went to Fox.
All the Moorish info.
All the Moorish info.
Every year.
You know what I'm saying? So I find it ironic, unless you're desperate and this is all crumbling down at one time. And so we have to sit back and watch just where the pieces fall, because it's going to shatter. The Zulu Nation, I'm not sure the Zulu Nation can be saved. I know there's others there are plenty, let me say this too, who are not involved in none of that. The ones who are complicit and know, they have the blood on their hands, they got to deal with that. But there are plenty who not. But you can't walk with that name nowhere now. How are you going to connect with youth using a name that now the vibration of the very name equals, butt slamming boys and shit? So that's not going to work. Like, it kills me how people still send their children to the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church, that's their culture. That's what they do.
Right.
And then you're surprised when your boys come back twisted. No. All priests, all bets is off. And we have to protect our children on a level now, because everybody is fair game. I'm going to talk about the transgender bathrooms, and you know what I mean? And now, if I feel like a girl, shit, I can go up into the ladies' locker room right now with butt-ass ladies. Like, what? Sir, you can't be. Whoa. Don't call me sir. I am not a sir. I am identifying with my female side today. So y'all butt ass ladies, go on and do
Don't
what y'all
mind
do.
me.
Well, you look like a man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's discrimination. I can sue this establishment. Don't worry about what I look like. How do I feel? And I feel like being in here with butt ass women today. You know what I'm saying? And get in touch with my feminine side.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So where do we draw the line on all this shit? You see what I'm saying? So this is getting really crazy, going into the transgenderism. I'm going into trans hip hop upstairs, you know what I'm saying? Because we're in a transition with that. It's going to lead to transhumanism with brother Sadaki Bukhari is always broken down. All of this stuff is happening simultaneously, and a certain amount of the people are going to get left behind because they're not going to be able to adapt and adjust and move forward.
To end the dot, let everybody know what you got going on. I know you got the book out.
I got
lectures,
the new book out,
everything.
man. Urban Culture Decoded, a critical analysis into the mental, physical, and spiritual state of a new generation. Hit Amazon or hit my website, idecoded.com. I'm going to be doing Hip Hop Recoded very soon. I got to recode some things based on these new things that are popping off with the industry and all of that kind of stuff. So just keep a lookout for that. You know, I don't do many lectures. You know, I'm a real homebody and all of that. But just stay tuned to Facebook, Underground Railroad, and anything I am doing, I'll definitely let the family know.
Did you leave your contact info?
You know, I'm off the grid. I'm on my off the grid shit. Facebook, you might be able to catch me. idecoded.com. No, I have an Instagram. My son said. I think it's I Decoded. I have a Twitter, Black Dot 1.
Okay.
So I got some connections. I don't check them. The kids check them for me, but
okay. Well,
I'm connected.
I know you got a lecture going on upstairs.
Yes.
So I want to thank you once again for coming on the show, brother.
Peace. You already know what it is.
Peace. Peace, family. This brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I can ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I can make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com and send a donation to richandmerit7@yahoo.com. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your program.